Hey guys, thanks for joining me today on Philly Autism Advocacy Podcast. So, I did let people know on my social medias that I was able to get a handicap placard for my son. And I just wanted to let you guys know in a short video how you could do this for your child. Now, my child has autism and other things, but it is possible to get this if your child has autism or other special needs type of stuff. So I have my laptop here because I'm not good with the editing and stuff yet to put stuff up so that you can see it or put the programs up. But I do have stuff here, and I will turn that around and show you how you can do that. So first, I just want to say thank you for watching, and I'm gonna make this like pretty short so that you can get right to it. I'm gonna have another video explaining how to get a home health aide and how to get a nurse aide in your home for up to 40 hours a week if you have a child who is on the spectrum or has special needs. I was gonna put it in this video, but I decided to have two separate videos because I really want you guys to get, both information there. So, before we get started, if you haven't or if you don't know, I started this YouTube page to pretty much push my petition to start a public school for children with autism in Philadelphia. I have pretty much the link down there. I'm going to put it in the description box, but if you go to change.org/Philly Public School for Autism, then you can sign, you can share, you can do all that great stuff on there. So that's the reason why I had this podcast, and I just like to give information, speak to people about it. My son also has epilepsy, so I have a video up here speaking to an adult that has epilepsy. So there are just a lot of things. As long as we're all informed and we're able to help each other, that's the most important thing. Okay, but let's get right to it. So I'm gonna put the link up here. So I'm the PA. I'm in Pennsylvania, so that's the state I'm in. So everything that I'm telling you, it may be different in different states, but I think it's pretty much kind of the same thing. The best thing to remember is having the doctor that's going to pretty much sign it or understand what you're saying in order to sign the papers to send this in. Okay, so I have that here, the dmv.pa.gov. So I put that in, and I'm just going to show you what that will look like here. Okay, so when you type that in, this is what you want to see. So parents with disabilities, parking placards, and registration plates. So that's what you want to see, plus the eligibility requirements. So in regards to this, if you have a child with autism on the spectrum, you would go down to number 10, which says, like, is the parent, including adoptive parent, foster parent, a child or adult child, provided that the person has custody or care or control. So pretty much, if you're the primary person taking care of that person with disabilities, then you're able to do that. That's pretty much what number 10 is saying. So you're going to go to the different numbers that it says, and you can go through reading these. I'm not going to because there's 11 of them. But the one that I would take, that I would go by pretty much, which is the eligibility requirements. If you have a child that's similar to mine, like Austin's, everyone's child is different. My child's 4.5. So it's a little different, but so I would put number 3, which is cannot walk 200 feet without stopping to rest, because a lot of these parking lots or places that we go are huge. It's a lot of cars, and it's difficult when you have a child on the spectrum who likes moving around a lot and may not care about safety or danger. Stuff like that is not good. So number 3, let's see. Number 4, cannot walk without the use of or assistance from a brace, a cane, a crutch, another person, prosthetic device, wheelchair, or other assistive devices. Okay, so my son, I noticed he had some stuff going on where like his legs and walking, and he was kind of clumsy. And to the average parent or person, they're like, oh, it's just a toddler being clumsy. That's just, but I'm like, well, my son already has epilepsy, so, I know that's a neurological thing. So I just want to make sure. Plus, from watching other parents on Facebook and Instagram and stuff like that, I've seen other kids older than my son who have braces and who toe walk like my son was toe walking. So I was able to get him to see an orthopedic specialist. And that's, well, I think I got my neurologist to sign this. Pretty much you can get any doctor to kind of sign this, but I'll let you know later on like how you should do that. But so I put number 4 because cannot walk without another person. If you have a child that has disabilities or autism, and it's difficult, like in parking lots and in places with them to get from the car to the door, like you need to hold their hand or else they're gonna elope. And a bigger word you want to use, the huge word, magical word, is elope. People don't even know really to use that word, but if you use that word with these doctors, they can't really deny certain things, you know? So, and you have to be honest and sometimes, you know, not over exaggerate, but on the worst day, you want to talk to the doctor like it's your child's worst day. So on the worst day where they were acting just, you know, and it was difficult and you were just like, oh my God, I don't know how I would get through this without, that's what you want to take to the doctors, because if you don't take that, they're not gonna see it. So and the other one is number 8, is severely limited in the ability to walk due to neurological or orthopedic or arthritic issues or conditions. So that is right there. I know you can't see, you can see my ring light, but you can see that's the list of eligibility requirements. So those numbers that I said is what I would take pretty much to the doctors, or if a doctor knows everything you have going on, I mean, they should honestly just take this and sign this. But if you have to advocate for your child, like a lot of us do, then I can help you do that. Um, okay, so we're gonna go down here to the person with disabilities parking. So, all right, you saw the eligibility. Now you're gonna scroll down and you're going to see the persons with disability parking placards. You're going to do initial insurance through the mail. That's what I did. That's the easiest thing to do. So you're going to print out the form MVU-145A. You're going to print out that PDF. So I'm just going to click the PDF so you can see what it looks like. And this is what it looks like. So you would pretty much print out this PDF, fill it in, and your take it to your doctor. So what I will say about taking it to a doctor for this, because I did have some people ask me questions about this. All right, so the first thing I would say is if you have a child on the autism spectrum, then and you just have a primary doctor, then you need to get a developmental pediatrician. You need to get a neurologist. You should probably go to a genetics specialist, possibly. And if you notice like clumsy things, or your child is a certain age and they're still toe walking or stuff like that, then go to an orthopedic doctor, especially depending on your insurance. If your insurance may cover a lot of these things, then you should kind of go to all those things, because all those things together like may play a part in your child's special needs. And this is why everyone's child has different special needs. You know, my child has epilepsy, so he has epilepsy in this, which looks like autism, and then your child may have, you know, orthopedic issues in this, which there you go. But the point is you don't know that unless you go to the specialist. The primary doctors, they they're that primary doctors, they're not specialists. So, and it's easier, I will say this, it's easier to get things signed with a specialist for certain things because they are already specialists. So to see a neurologist sign off on something over a primary, even though they may both be able to sign for the same thing, it just looks a little bit better. So when it comes to a paperwork like this, if you have those specialist doctors, I would take it to them first. If they argue with you and say, oh, well, I can't do this just because your child has autism, da da da, woosah. If your child has like an ABA therapist, if your child has any therapist, if at any point the daycare or school has said your child has eloped, if you feel like it's dangerous in parking lots, like, then this is something that a doctor cannot tell you that you don't need these things. So the thing for you is to get the proof that you need these things. So like I said, my son already had a PCA ABA. So if the doctor wanted to say, even though we're all on the same page, because he also has an IEP. So in the IEP, you know, certain things, which is why it's good to have stuff set up, because you can cross your I's and dot your Q's. So I can show this document that says, well, this is what he does, and it's a safety issue. So, and that's really what it is when it comes to our children and being in parking lots and wanting to get the handicap tag, pretty much. When I tell you, like, I've only had it for maybe like a month and a half, and it has changed. It's just made things so much easier when it comes to at least getting into the building, because for my son, transitions are kind of difficult. So being able to get in and out of somewhere quickly and not have to walk through a parking lot because he may want to run, some things we cannot control as parents. But what we do want to do is have things set up in a way so that it's safe for our child. So that's why I want to do this video. Pretty much, if anyone is interested in getting a handicap placard and you have a child with autism or disabilities. So, and I just want to mention, if you are going to take this document to your primary doctor can fill this out too. And if they want to ask, like, well, why do you need this for what? Then I would go to the eligibility requirements here and I would tell them, number 3, well, my child cannot walk 200 feet. And this is if it applies. Like, I'm also not trying to say everyone who has like a child with autism or a child with special needs these things. But if you need these things, then it's good that you know that you can get them. You know, when my son and I don't need this anymore, we won't have it. But now we do need it, and it is good to have. So, but yeah, like I said, you can take to your primary doctor. Number 3, number 4, my child needs assistance, and number 8, you know, the severely limited ability to walk, if that is the case. And then also, if your child is similar to mine, which you can at his Instagram page, which is Austin's World, AUSTENS period WORLD. If you want to like follow kind of the different, because I put up when I take him to specialists and just how it kind of looks. So if you see some things in your child that was in my child, then you may want to call up your orthopedic or call up your primary and ask for that referral to an orthopedic doctor or referral to the neurologist. Because I also want to mention my son does have epilepsy, but that was not, he does not have grand mal seizures. They're mostly focal and partial seizures, which are seizures that, or absentee seizures, I believe too, which are seizures that you don't see and you don't know. He would just blank out sometimes, just like, and that would be the small seizure, and you can miss that, you know. So, and you can just, those are small things you can miss. So once you see or notice stuff like that, okay, maybe I should take my child to a neurologist, and then they can do the test and see, oh, maybe they have little, you know, seizures. And then once you find that out, you know, then maybe if your primary doesn't want to do it, it'll be easier to fill it out this way. But at the same time, like, your primary should understand and know what's going on, like, with you in your life and your child, especially if it's not a like pediatric, like, I guess, person that deals with like autism children. But you know, your primary may not know everything about autism, but when you're telling them what's going on, like, kind of every year, you should be honest about what is going on, like maybe how tired you may be or how like difficult this may be, so that they can like give suggestions. So that's just yeah. So I want to keep this video short, and if anyone has any questions, you can or comments, you can write them in the comment section. And let me just add this. And yep, just please like, you can add, subscribe to my page. I like to put up things every once in a while. I'm still a mom myself, so I'm still like navigating through things that I'm doing with my son while also doing these videos. So I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you on the next video.